News right now, a police pursuit in Broward County. Dramatic images coming into the newsroom.
This thing unfolding right now. Let's get right to Calvin. He's in the newsroom following it all.
And it looks like you're looking at the end of this chase here. This is a foot chase that began as a police pursuit on I-95 southbound, but we're just going to watch this play out here as police have been chasing this gentleman here for quite some time on the streets as he was driving through in and out of traffic, running red lights, but it looks like he is running out of gas here, running out of energy as he is running here what we believe to be Oakland Park. He was in Oakland Park and Sunrise Boulevard, but right here you can see this gentleman. It looks like he's running through a parking lot in a commercial area, and other people are pursuing him as well. Not a police officer, it looks like, unless that's a plainclothes police officer there, running into a building. Not sure if this gentleman is armed or not. But we've been watching this for you as he's been running in and out of traffic with a car. What is a Hyundai Sonata there. He was in Oakland Park going southbound, going into incoming traffic, running red lights. And there goes that police pursuit again. He ran in and out of that what looks like an apartment building. And he looks like he's trying to get into another vehicle here. And with another person, it may be his accomplice there, getting into that other car as they're about to try to take off. We understand police were chasing this man on I-95 southbound. We believe he was in a stolen car, and it looks like he's in another stolen car driving out of that parking lot. Someone is trying to block him from getting out, but he has found his way out. We understand this is in Oakland Park once again, and we don't see any police vehicles around him anywhere, but we know BSO Chopper is high above watching this person as he is in this stolen vehicle after going on a police pursuit, getting out of a stolen car, running by foot into another area here in Oakland Park, and then driving in this car here, what appears to be another stolen car with another person in the passenger seat, and what looks like he is going into incoming traffic there once again. Very dangerous as he has been driving here with high speeds right there, going through that intersection, blowing through that intersection. And once again, BSO Chopper high above. You don't see any police vehicles right behind this car, Victor and Janine, but we've been following this for you as this person. We don't understand why he's running, but we do know that when the police pursuit began on Interstate 95 southbound, that he was in a stolen vehicle. But once again, as you can see there, we put up the banner. He is in Oakland Park, going in and out of neighborhood traffic there, a residential area, and at a very high speed here. Thankfully, a lot of children are out of school, but after-school activities are taking place. A lot of children may be in the streets here, waiting for parents to come home.
And you know, Calvin, that might be a stolen car, or he might have stopped in Oakland Park because this is somebody that perhaps he knows, and that was a car that he knew was available. We don't know yet.
Maybe it could be his car as well, and it might turn out that he knows this area because he went right for that car. And unless it just happened to be unlocked with the keys sitting right there, I'm thinking there's a good chance that this was either the other person's car or his car. Either way, now he's making desperate attempts as he goes through all these residential streets, doing whatever he can to get away from police here. Again, no word on exactly what it is that he's wanted for, but he has come to a stop here. Let's see what happens. They've bailed out once again, making a run for it. We see at least one officer in pursuit here. He's underneath some trees there in a backyard.
And running into a residential area in someone's backyard, but you can see once again both people from that vehicle are now running together, and at least one police officer right behind them. BSO has been tracking this person, well, both people, we understand, for at least the last 20 minutes. But right there, going around in circles, and they've split up, the officer having to make a decision which one to go after. And it looks like he's gone after one of the suspects, but both of them have run away. And the officer right now trying to go after both of those suspects. Janine and Victor, what a dramatic scene playing out. As you can imagine, neighbors in this residential area are obviously, and we apologize for this picture going out, but Sky 10 live above this as one of the suspects jumped over that fence. And can you imagine, only one officer, we understand, was chasing them, but now you can see more officers have arrived.
Right, and you can see right there, we just saw a second ago, it looks like the officers did have one of those suspects in custody, and so now their goal is to look for that second person who is, it looks like he is trying to appear to maybe take his sweatshirt off, changing his mind, of course. He's on the side of the house where there are people standing in the front of the house. It looks like he's is he now hiding behind that
he is hiding.
Recycling bin?
It looked like for a second he debated on jumping into the recycling bin or that trash bin there to hide, but people are right outside that house right now. And doubt that they have any idea as to what's going on at the moment, but this guy's running around right behind their house at this point.
Yes, this is just a matter of time before this person is caught. And he is probably making up his mind that this is probably not a good move. He seems to be trapped in his backyard. But once again, BSO chopper is right above, and they're watching this person as he is climbing over fence after fence, going into people's backyard here in Oakland Park.
And it's tough to say if he's armed or not, but it definitely looked like he had something in his left hand there. Can't tell exactly what it is, can't make it out just yet.
Well,
but he is going from backyard to backyard here.
According to Lighthouse Point spokesperson, from what they were telling us, they had a stolen car that had come into the city. Police do not chase vehicles, and so they had BSO kind of monitoring the situation from above. And it's sort of come to, at least one half of it came to an end here in Oakland Park. This other suspect is now trying to get away. He's jumping fences. He's kind of going in and out of different people's backyards. Deputies, it appeared, had one person in custody. But now here he is. He is walking around these people's
and hiding
backyards.
right by the swimming pool here in someone's backyard, jumping fence after fence. It seems to be going in circles as he is trying to make a getaway somehow in this neighborhood. As you can imagine, the people in this neighborhood are probably just frightened as they are watching this play out. And if you know someone who lives in this neighborhood, it's probably a good idea to call them right now and tell them to stay inside, as police are swarming this area looking for this person here. There were two people who were running on foot away from police officers, but at first they were in a car, but they got out in this neighborhood, bailing out in this neighborhood in Oakland Park. And then one has been taken into custody by police, but this one here jumping fence after fence, going into this neighborhood, and once again on the ground there, doing the spread eagle, waiting for police officers to come and possibly arrest him. It may be just a matter of time, or he may just be trying to hide once again. Janine and Victor.
And we see a lot of these houses have pets in the yard.
And it also looks like there is a police officer with a canine unit right in front. Oh, or if it's not a canine unit, it could just be a neighbor with a very large dog, but there's somebody on the other side of that fence, and he just crawled right to it. So it looks like he is now surrendering. He's going to jump that fence, and let's see, he goes right to the ground. Spreads his legs apart there, and now being ordered to put his hands behind his back. That would appear to be a police canine there.
That is,
giving
that's
the
a
orders,
Broward.
and there's an officer about to cuff this guy who, well, made for one wild afternoon here in Oakland Park.
A very wild afternoon that began on Interstate 95, and what appears to be this person here with another person who was taken into custody earlier just moments ago. They were in a stolen vehicle. They were riding down Interstate 95 southbound when BSO officers said they were going to let them go into Lighthouse Point and allow BSO chopper to kind of follow them around and not pursue them in a high-speed chase. But then it turned into a foot chase when we tuned into this in Oakland Park, and this car was going in and out of traffic before bailing out, and then this person ran into a parking lot and jumped into another vehicle. Not sure if that was a vehicle waiting on these two people or in fact it was a vehicle that he stole, but those two perpetrators there jumped into that vehicle, took off, and started going, weaving in and out of traffic. It was mainly the city traffic, and then they jumped into what appeared to be, jumped out of that vehicle and appeared to be running into this neighborhood before jumping over fence after fence after fence, and then you saw there both men taken into custody.
And it doesn't look like these are sheriff's deputies based on their uniforms. These might be Lighthouse police officers that are taking this young man in custody because from what they were telling us, they had gotten the call initially about a stolen car, and then they, along with the Broward Sheriff's Office, then pursued these two suspects, now ultimately getting both of them in custody. Again, like you were saying, Victor, making for a pretty wild afternoon.
Absolutely, and police were able to catch up with them pretty quickly considering how many different fences these guys were jumping over, especially that last one. It looked like a phone may have fallen out of his pocket there. Tough to tell exactly what it was that he was carrying, but he was holding on to something there as he was jumping through all of these backyards. But eventually, you know, just moments ago, you watched this unfold live right here. Both of these men who police were after in Oakland Park, now in custody, under arrest, in police cars. Good to have them off the streets right now.
And on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see, I believe this might have been the Hyundai that they were in initially before ditching it. And then this is video keep in mind, recorded earlier. But this is the car I think that they were in before then ditching it, running, and then getting into another SUV. And boy, it really just went on a wild ride, driving erratically in some industrial areas.
It looks like that was the first bailout right there. And there were a number of people inside that car, much more than just two. So, you know, our chopper can only follow so many people at one time here. So, got to believe that police have either found the other people or they're still looking for the other people who were inside that car. That Hyundai, it looked like the back bumper had been ripped off as they were driving. It looked like it was pretty beat up in bad shape. But at least what we can confirm right now, we're waiting to hear more from police exactly what it is that happened here and how many people they have in custody right now. But at least from what we've seen, from what our cameras have caught, 2 people now in custody. And
of course, you can see on the right-hand side of your screen video from earlier. Boy, they really ran around in this neighborhood, in this Oakland Park neighborhood, before then getting into an SUV. It is not clear if that SUV, if that was a stolen SUV, or if that was an SUV that possibly belonged to a friend or a family member, and they knew how to get to it.
It looked like they knew what they were doing. They ran right into the entrance of a building and went right for that car, and it was unlocked. They jumped right in and took off once again before bailing out another time. And again, police were able to catch up with them pretty quickly. Thankfully, as far as we can report right now, it doesn't look like there are any injuries, no serious accidents either, just an incredibly dangerous scene and a wild afternoon here. We're waiting to get a lot more information, official word from police as to exactly what it is that happened here. What we know right now is that initially they were in a stolen car.
Stolen car at a Lighthouse Point that made its way into Pompano Beach and then into Oakland Park, and really taking police for a wild ride. On the right-hand side of your screen, those are live pictures right now. At least 2 people in custody. That's the left-hand side of your screen. The right-hand side of your screen, that's video recorded earlier. Again, we're showing you several people getting out of that allegedly stolen car and giving police quite a chase.
I counted 4 right there. They got out right behind that crate, so it's tough to tell for sure, but it looked like 4 people jumped out of that car. A story that we are going to continue to follow, but for now, Lori and Calvin, we'll send it to you guys for Local 10 News at 6 o'clock.
All right, thank you both.
And right now, we are going to continue following this story here. You can see these are live pictures you're looking at from Sky 10 of Oakland Park there, where a police pursuit has come to an end, and a foot chase as well came to an end. At least 2 people taken into custody after what was believed to be a stolen car that led to that police pursuit.
And what's been fascinating is all the neighbors who came out and all the pets and the dogs that were barking at these suspects. No doubt it helped officers know exactly where they were. So many families literally coming out with their children even and pointing out where these 2 suspects were. Apparently pretty young men, 2 of them, one caught first, and then within about 5 minutes, the other one taken down.
But what a dramatic scene as it played out, as one of the suspects was jumping over fence after fence after fence in his residential area in Oakland Park. And once again, Sky 10 over the scene here on the aftermath of what was a police pursuit that came to an end that led to a dramatic foot chase, but 2 people taken into custody.
And Jeff Weinsteer is joining us now from the newsroom. Jeff, what are you learning about all this?
Well, as you look at this right now, again, a developing story which started originally between 5:30 and 6 o'clock in the Lighthouse Point area. As you look at this, police were originally, the Broward Sheriff's Office originally pursuing a stolen, what appears to be a stolen Hyundai Sonata out of Lighthouse Point. At that point, the suspects allegedly got on I-95, got off in the Oakland Park area. We have some video, if we can roll the video, the suspects jumping out of the Hyundai Sonata, then 2 of the suspects running into an apartment complex, then getting into what appears to be a blue Subaru. So they ditch one car, they run away from that car with police pursuing them, they get into this car, and then they lead police on a second chase in this car. Now, we don't know how in the world they were able to jump that car so quickly and get out of there. Again, this is in Oakland Park in an apartment complex. The Florida Highway Patrol and an unmarked SUV was quickly behind this car because the Broward Sheriff's Office had their chopper up above. Again, 2 suspects were in this car. Originally, 4 people got out of that Hyundai Sonata. They went all separate ways. But then again, 2 males males got into this vehicle that you see right here and led police on a chase through residential Oakland Park. Here you see that unmarked SUV right behind them. You see the two suspects. They fled with that officer and foot chase. They fled in separate directions, originally both together, but then they went in separate directions with that one police officer in pursuit. Eventually BSO and the Florida Highway Patrol showed up and took both of these suspects. Again, this is video after they ditched that second vehicle. Again, the pursuit happening through residential Oakland Park. While this was going on, we saw several people walking outside watching. This is the takedown of, I believe, the second suspect. The second suspect in that you see K9 caught up with that suspect. Again, two people we know of in custody. Two people may still be on the run, originally coming out of the Lighthouse Point area, a stolen vehicle, leading police on a chase down I-95 in the Oakland Park area. We do not know the whereabouts of the two other suspects. One appeared to be a female, but two males have been taken into custody right now.
And Jeff, from the different scanner traffic so far, we have not heard of any injuries. Is that correct? We
have not heard of any injuries, but I will tell you, when we were watching the pursuit up above, the Hyundai Sonata, the original car that they were chasing, the stolen car out of Lighthouse Point, did have damage to the back bumper. The original bailout with that Hyundai Sonata was 3849 Northwest 19th Street, and then they took the first male into custody at 4501 Northwest 22nd Street. Again, two people in custody, one male, one female, we're told by BSO, still on the run at this hour. So again, they are looking for two. They have two in custody out of originally Lighthouse Point, and all ending in Oakland Park without any major injuries that we have heard of. But again, there was damage to one vehicle.
And Jeff, is the feeling that the other two suspects could be somewhere in the vicinity of the other two people who were caught?
Could be in the area. Police, you have the Florida Highway Patrol, you have the Broward Sheriff's Office in that area as well. A lot of times in these chases, people they start in an original area, but they usually wind up in places that they are familiar with. And when these two suspects were running into that complex, they seemed to go right for a car. And amazingly, that Subaru, they were able to start within less than a minute. So we don't know what kind of equipment they had. We don't know if it was a push-button start. We don't know if there was a key left in that car. We really don't even know if it could have been one of their cars. They may have run into an apartment complex that they live in and taken a car. But at this point, again, two in custody, two on the run, a chase coming to an end in the Oakland Park area.
And it looks like all these officers are questioning this one suspect, hoping for information to lead them to those other suspects on the run. Jeff Weinster, we're going to let you work it from the newsroom. We'll get back to you shortly.